Hello and welcome everyone to match 9 of the Fighter Jet Frenzy, in which Gia's doomagent13 and the Tony Polkas will be going up against the XF13s by doomagent13 in a losers bracket match. So whoever wins this continues in the secondary bracket, and whoever loses goes home. So the XF13s are fast but not very maneuverable, whereas at least the Tony Polkas are very maneuverable but not as fast. The Turntail is very heavily armored, but that hit already looked kind of bad for it. I see that one of the XF13s is accumulating DQ points, but the Turntail's on the terrain. I think it's out of this. And I don't see one of the Tony Polkas anymore. I think it will have gone into the sea. The Turntail doesn't look like it's getting off the terrain, so we'll just follow this Tony Polka for now, as it tries to chase the XF13. But I think... no, the missiles have stopped following all of the planes now. Oh! What was that? Oh, the Turntail's back in the air. It's not really in control of what it's doing, though. And then here... what's happening to the Tony Polka? Still trying to catch the XF13, but it's just too fast. But the missiles aren't really working very well against the Polka, although they're great against the Turntail. Whose missiles are those? It's hard to say, with both planes flying the exact same way. I think they were the Tony Polkas. Turntail is still not really doing much other than circling and hitting the terrain. I think, did that kill it? Yeah, that killed it. So now it's just the XF13s versus this Tony Polka. Maybe when they've both got their attention on it, they might be able to hit it with a missile. I think it's already taken some kind of hit given how it's moving, but I'm not sure. Actually, no, it probably has, because otherwise it would be trying to ram. You can actually see that one of those missiles has an orange trail. I think that is actually the Tony Polkas. That used to not work, but it looks like one of the relatively recent, I'm not sure how recent, patches has fixed the missile trail colors not working. Now the XF13s do have to be careful here. While they definitely have the advantage, if they get themselves disqualified, then at that point they will lose the match, or at least they will lose the round. Though if only one of them gets disqualified, then I think they should still win this by HP. Because the Tony Polkas and Turntail are at 20% with just this one alive. But we've seen the XF13s disqualify themselves because they aren't very maneuverable. They tend to go out of bounds when they fly so very fast and so very far. And the missiles don't have much hope hitting a target that's circling so quickly. Look at it trying to turn. One of the XF13s is very high on DQ points, and the other just gained a few more. They have to stay in this for one more minute. That's what they need to do. They need to not be disqualified for a little under 1 minute. I think one of them is going to get disqualified at this rate. Maybe even two of them, I'm not sure. This one's flying back in. I don't know, how many DQ points do they gain when they fly so far out of bounds? Like that one just gained 3, I think? And then this one's about to gain a few more. If it limits the DQ points that it accumulates, it's not going to be knocked out, I think. But this is going to be very close just because of the DQ timer. Yeah, one of them did just get disqualified. 10 seconds. Five minutes. And it's actually flying back into range. Seems like they actually scored another hit on the Tony Poker. It's a bit lower health than it was when we last saw it. And because it's the only one remaining on Gia's team, that means round 1 goes to the XF13s, though they have to be careful in the next few rounds. If something like this happens again, they might suffer at the hands of the DQ timer. So let's get the second one underway. Maybe see what happens to the turn 10. I don't know what that gun fires. I should have checked that. But it's not hit any of the XF13s so far. And that one hit just dealt catastrophic damage to the turntail, and that was actually below sea level, so it got DQ'd. And other than that, one of the Tony Pokers, this one has taken damage. This one hasn't, and one of the XF13s has taken a little bit of damage. So let's see if they can prevent disqualification. Hopefully they can. In fact, with this one Poker chasing one of the XF13s, I don't think they'll be disqualified very quickly. It's just that they might try to circle this one. Though I think it's going a little bit high. It might get itself disqualified in space at this rate. Yeah, it just did. And I didn't see what happened there, but it looks very much like the other Tony Poker got taken out, so that's already 2-1 rounds for the XF13s. So Doom Agent has already won the match. Let's see if anything changes in round 3. Maybe follow one of the Tony Pokers just to see what happens to them, because that's not really clear to me. I think they just take missile hits occasionally, but I'm not sure how often. Everyone's still at full health. And here come a few missiles. I think they're going after the Tony Poker. Can they hit it? Can they reach it? Oh yeah, they can. Yeah, hits like that aren't good for it. And the turntail just crashed, got knocked out of the sky very quickly again. So now it's just the Tony Pokers and the XF13s. And one of the Tony Pokers just took that critical hit. I think that's the one that's circling right now. This one's still completely intact. Its missiles are just a bit too slow to catch the XF13s. There's only one instance in which one of them took damage last round, and I think that might have been a collision. Or maybe a fragment from one of its own missiles. Whatever it was, it didn't do a lot of damage. Though in previous matches we have seen that the XF13s sometimes respond very badly to only a little bit of damage. But then again, so do the Tony Pokers. One of them just got disqualified, and this one just got hit. And it's losing altitude, so it might be in the ocean in just a few minutes. Actually, no, it's pulling up now. It's not just that the missiles are slow necessarily, it's that they don't have a lot of range. Yeah, that's a bit of a problem. I mean, it is a ramming craft, but against targets this fast that you can't catch with a ram, maybe that's where you'd want faster missiles. I don't know, maybe, or at least longer-lived missiles. I think they could catch the XF-13s if they had a bit more fuel. I do like the way the XF-13s fly. They are basically always on their side. Well, not now, but most of the time they roll very sharply to turn. It's really quite nice to look at up close. And they're very simple too when you look on the inside. I'm not sure how I'm going to handle releasing blueprints. I think I'll leave that up to the creators, but I think the XF-13 is a nice one to look at. There's not a whole lot in there, but what's in there works really, really well. Except for the disqualifications, of course. I guess we just watch this thing go around in circles. Until it takes a lucky missile hit, maybe? That's a very agile missile. Not quite agile enough to catch it, but I think that's more of a targeting thing than a maneuverability thing. Is it still firing, actually? I think it just reloaded. Yes, okay, it is still in the fight. That was really close. Maybe if it launches when the XF-13 is right next to it, the Tony Poker could hit it. But it would have to be very close. Just a few more seconds. Oh, yes, there we go. 5 minutes. So, it's much like round one. We've got just one Tony Poker, and in this case we have both of the XF-13s still alive, so they also win the third round. And the match goes to doomagent13 and the XF-13s. So congratulations, Doom Agent, and condolences to Gia. Unfortunately, your entry, the Tony Turntail and the Tony Pokers, are now eliminated from the tournament. But the XF-13s, they get another chance, and perhaps they'll climb out of the losers bracket and fight on for the finals. But we'll see about that in a future video. I'll see you in the next one.